You're watching Nike EYBL Scholastic at Montverede Academy on League Ready. This is day 2 of the Sunshine Classic here in the Sunshine State, and we have a fantastic doubleheader on tap for you. Game 1 featuring a couple of schools from chilly climates, trading that in for some Florida weather. It's the Brewster Academy Bobcats from New Hampshire taking on a squad from Canada in the Orangeville Prep Bears. And we want to welcome you courtside here at Montverede Academy. He's the former Princeton Tiger, Ben Hazel. I'm Jake Marsh. Thanks for spending your Saturday night with us. So game 1, Brewster against Orangeville, should be a fantastic game. And for the Brewster Bobcats, Ben, if they are going to continue what they did last night, an upset over Long Island Lutheran, Killian Torrey, the future Cyclone of Iowa State, will be a big reason why.
Oh, Iowa State has good reason to be excited about this one. He's a do-it-all guard. He brings aggression on both ends of the floor, and I think he will be a great fit for Iowa State next year. But right now, he is a force to be reckoned with.
No doubt about it. TJ Otzelberger's got a big-time player coming up there to Iowa State. On the flip side, Orangeville, a quick turnaround after a disappointing loss yesterday to the host team in Montverede Academy. They lost by 50 to this squad, but now if they want to have a better result tonight, EJ Horton will be a big reason why.
They're going to look to put on a better show than they did yesterday, and they have the talent to do so. And EJ Horton is the key piece for them to get going. Of course, they had a pretty long trip to get down here and having a little trouble getting comfortable, but I think on day 2 they'll have a better showing.
And now let's take a look at our starting lineups tonight. We start with the Brewster Academy Bobcats. Ben, break this one down for us.
So Brewster is coming in with a ton of talent. You have Ebuka Okore, who's coming off of a big performance last night in their win. You have Darren Moore, the Seton Hall commit. You have Killian Torrey, the Iowa State commit. Sebastian Wilkins rounding it out in the front court. He's the number 40 ranked player. And then you have
Preston Fowler from James Madison.
Preston Fowler, he's a playmaker. And on the other end, you have Orangeville. You have EJ Horton leading this group. You have Darius McLeishan, Jack McMahon, Lucas Jędruski, Harmon Hallie Michael rounding it out. Should be a good one.
No doubt about it. Brewster coming off a big monster upset against number 3 Long Island Lutheran yesterday. You'll see Lou High against Montverede in the second game of our doubleheader. Meanwhile, Orangeville looking to bounce back after a tough 82-32 loss to the host team in Montverede. Brewster in navy, Orangeville in white. And we're off and running here from Montverede. Thanks for joining us on YouTube. Our officials tonight, Brian Martin, Roderick Bombard, and Louis Elrose. This is Darian Moore with the basketball right now. He goes by the nickname Payday. The feeling we'll be saying that a little bit. A 3 from the top of the key is pure from Preston Fowler, a future James Madison Duke.
And that's why Brewster is a tough team to play. They have big forwards like Sebastian popping out and knocking down threes.
Fowler, a 4-star, 34th ranked power forward in ESPN's class of 2025. This one's intercepted into the hands of Ebuka Okore, a future Stanford Cardinal. Another 3 rattles home from Sebastian Wilkins, the junior from Massachusetts.
I misspoke earlier. That was Preston with the 3, but now we have it followed up with Sebastian. They have 2 dual threat bigs that can face up and score from the outside. It is something, it's a challenge for Orangeville. We'll see if they can tighten things up and get a good one on this possession.
Wilkins coming off a solid performance last night in the win over Lou High, 8 points and 9 rebounds. Let's see if Orangeville can crack the scoreboard just more than a minute in. That's a nice move, but McLashin cannot finish.
Darren
2 possessions,
Moore.
2 threes so far.
Right, Darren Moore, that's what he does. He's a great one-on-one defender.
As Sebastian Wilkins knocks down another 3 for the Bobcats.
You can see why he's getting Power 5 interest. A 6'8" forward that can knock down a shot like that is something every program could use.
Yeah. First quarter has been an issue this weekend here for Orangeville. Down 9-0 right now. They were down 24-2 at the end of the first quarter yesterday against Montverede.
And you see what makes Sebastian so special is that even though he's a big, he's shot ready at all times.
Here's Torrey lobbing it inside, could not connect. with Wilkins. So the first empty possession offensively for Brewster. And there is the patience paying off for Sergio Corda, the junior from Madrid.
And if you're Orangeville, that's what you have to do. You have to get stops and push under control. Great find, great finish.
A team high 8 rebounds for the Spaniard yesterday in that loss against Montverede.
He brings a level of versatility to that team that they're really going to need to exploit if they want to stay competitive in this one.
Good defense by the Bears there. That was the first 2-point attempt from Brewster so far. They've made 3 threes, accounting for all 9 points. There's a 3 from the right wing, brick to the right from Lucas Gendruziak.
But they like that shot. That was a good shot. It was open. They just got to knock it down as the game goes on.
Quick possessions on both ends. And McMahon not on the same page as E.J. Horton there. That's our first whistle in nearly 3 minutes. Fast pace early on.
Yeah, Brewster has done a good job of keeping Orangeville in front and not fouling. That's the sign of a well-disciplined team. So they're doing exactly what you would expect from a historic program like Brewster Academy.
Travel by Kylian Touré, the senior from France. As we mentioned a couple of minutes ago, heading up to Ames next year for TJ Otzelberger and Iowa State. There's the head coach of Brewster Academy, Jason Smith, year number 25, an absolute legend in this powerhouse school in New Hampshire. 7 national prep championships, averaging over 30 victories per year. As that 3 rattles home from E.J. Horton.
He's the one. He's the guy that has the talent to really make the tough shots for this team. They're going to need him to stay active, get open, and knock down shots just like that. But the defensive end is really where they're going to climb back into this.
A team high 8 points in last night's loss to Montverede. That 3 cashes in from Payday, Darian Moore.
And that's what he does. Payday, pay my boy. That's a good shot, stepped up with confidence and knocked it down. You see why they call him Payday.
He's heading to Seton Hall next year and will play a factor for Shaheen Holloway and the Big East. That one's pickpocketed away by Horton.
Great job by E.J. Horton, getting the steal, but then settling things down, not getting rushed. Turnovers have been an issue for this team so far on the weekend, but that's what I mean when I talk about getting comfortable.
Corda sets the screen. And Okori gets a hand on it. Oh, and he is fouled going up for the layup. So, just under 4 to go in the first quarter. The Brewster Bobcats have made 4 threes already. Raining from downtown early on at the Sunshine Classic. You're watching high school basketball on League Ready YouTube.
You never get used to the pressure. You just learn to embrace it. Expectations aren't a burden, they're a privilege. Because it could be worse. No one could expect anything at all.
Sure, I was the first pick, the rookie to watch, and the back-to-back All-Star. But to get even better, I had to get real with myself. I got real about how I showed up. I got real about how I trained. I got real about what I ate. The results, something about this season, man, it just feels different.
Welcome back to Montverede Academy for day 2 of our Sunshine Classic doubleheader. It's Orangeville coming in from Canada. It's Brewster Academy coming in from New Hampshire. Here in sunny Florida in December, no matter how this game fares, both of these teams are winners today just because of that, aren't they, Ben?
Oh, most definitely. It's something that all of the coaches commented on. They really love the fact that they can play some high-level basketball in the Sunshine State.
As we take a look at what happened right before our TV timeout, Ibuka Okori doing it on both ends.
And that's why Stanford is really high on this kid. He had 19 points yesterday. I had the chance to watch him. He is extremely active in those passing lanes, getting his hands on steals, which is why, you know, people really want to see what he can do next year.
A 6'2", 175-pound senior from New Hampshire. He is heading from the East Coast to the West Coast next year. He will be playing for the Stanford Cardinal. Chose Stanford in November. He actually originally committed to Harvard in September and then flipped to Stanford. And not to get confused with names, but Samford from the Southern Conference actually offered him before he even played a high school game. He had a D1 offer on the table in middle school. Pretty wild.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta love that, right? Like, it just shows you the type of talent he is. And I know Coach Tommy Amaker was sad about that decommit.
Yeah. There is Okori. Could not connect on the three. And Orangeville looking to get something going offensively.
Orangeville has done a good job at least getting into their stuff. They've been able to limit turnovers, but now it's about getting quality looks at the basket and start to chip away at this lead.
It was 9-0 out of the gate after 3 made threes from the Brewster Academy Bobcats. And there is another interception as Okori flies and a missed layup. Nobody else on that side of the court. Darian Moore will be thinking about that one tonight. And on the flip side, the three is good from Jack McMahon. That is a massive 5-point swing.
That is a great play, but you see Brewster, they are hard to score on with that three-pronged front of these guards, and they get after you. But Orangeville staying in the play, staying ready, and knocking down a big three. I mean, they need something to get that momentum back on their side.
Jack McMahon just 5'4". Excuse me, 6'4". Corner three is too strong from Sebastian Wilkins.
It looks like Brewster's fallen in love with that three-point shot. They started out hot, but have started to miss a few. I think they need to get back to getting the ball into the paint and taking advantage of their size.
Another steal. And this one's going the other way. It was probably a smart foul from Lucas Jendruziak because it would have been an easy layup the other way.
When I watch Ibuka Torre, it is no question on why he is going to be a good fit. And I said Ibuka, I meant Killian, and why he's going to be a good fit with Iowa State. He gets after you on that defensive end. I mean, when you are dribbling the ball, you need to protect it because he will turn that into offense.
Yeah, TJ Otzelberger, seems like him and his program, they just ooze grit out of their guys, right?
They have an identity and its toughness on the defensive end. No matter who is on the court, they are going to guard you, and he will fit that mold perfectly.
Always playing a factor in the NCAA tournament and the Big 12, one of the best, if not the best conference in all of college basketball. So number 23 in blue today will play a factor in Ames next year, as this foul is on the ground. Wave off the shot with just under 2 to go in this opening quarter. Charge this one against EJ Horton of Orangeville.
Strong drive by Preston Fowler there. He just, you know, attacked the closeout, which is what you're going to have to do a lot at the next level. So you would love to see him not settle for a three and get to the basket.
Okori swirls in and out from 3. And now Orangeville has held Brewster to just 1 of their last 7 from the floor. Down by 6, looking to continuing to chip away in the final 90 seconds of this opening frame. Remember, 8-minute quarters at the high school level. And another suffocating defensive possession from Brewster.
And what you have to love about this Brewster team is they make a sub at the position. They bring in Antonio Pemberton, and there's no difference. He's picking up chest to chest right at half court against Orangeville's one of their best player and having no issue causing problems and really taking them out of their offense.
4 steals in the opening quarter so far. And they're actually going to call this foul. It was on EJ Horton for Orangeville, but they called a technical foul on Antonio Pemberton of Brewster afterwards. So these are the technical free throws. Things getting chippy here in the
They're
first
getting a
quarter.
little chippy. I mean, this is what you love about, you know, high-level basketball. It's intense. It's get after you. These guys take pride in everything that they do. When you have high major guys matched up against each other, you try to prove yourself. You see this right here. He's in his space and never gave an inch.
Oh, I think he said some words there when he was standing up on the opposing player.
I think the refs are a little on edge. Don't want to let things get out of hand before they get there. But it's just a learning experience. He's just a sophomore, so he's a guy that'll continue to learn, but his talent is unmatched.
And we have a violation on Orangeville before even inbounding the ball. That's on Corda.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. He would love to have that one back.
And here is the biggest player on either roster into the game, number 10 in blue, Atur Bolmin, the 6'9", 180-pound junior from Spain and the South Sudan. There he is right on cue, short on the three-point attempt.
And that's a shot from one of your biggest guys. You don't necessarily want to have his first shot be a three-point attempt.
Here comes Pemberton downhill. Oh, nice
Great
passing and finish. Counted and the foul for Dalu Noble, the senior from Austria. Gets two and to the line.
You love to see that, your big guys getting out and running, finishing strong through contact. That is a big-time play that I think, you know, coaches love to see from their bigs.
Dalu Noble entering the game just a minute ago. And how about this passing from Brewster?
Man, when they get the ball, whether it be a steal, whether it be a rebound, they are out and running.
So Dalu Noble, 6'8", 195, has an offer from Davidson on the table and took an official visit in June. Could not finish the three-point play. Reach and foul. Oh no, they're gonna call a travel.
Yeah, it's tough because Brewster, they put pressure on you every action. When that ball screen comes as a guard, you're trying to call for a ball screen to get some air, and then they trap it. So you hit the quick roll, but he gets caught in a tough position. Just a tough break for Orangeville there. We'll see if they can make some adjustments.
7-second differential between the game and shot clock. Let's see what Brewster decides to do with it. This is Bolmin driving, kick out. Pemberton from the free throw line, unsuccessful. Shot clock is off, 10 seconds to go. Kick out, three, too strong from Ryder English. 5 seconds to go. Orangeville's got to make a move, and we have a foul with 3 seconds remaining.
That's what Orangeville's going to have to do. They're going to have to get the 50-50 balls. All of those long rebounds, offensive rebounds, diving for the ball, diving for the loose ball, that's what they're going to have to do to stay in this game. I mean, they're not out of it. As long as they can start to figure out a way to get quality shots at each possession, I think they'll start to see the tide turn.
Let's see if they can pull off a buzzer beater here. Inbound deflected, clock running. 0.3 of a second going back to Brewster, so
can't get a shot off the point three.
Just got to inbound it. And that will end the first quarter. So 16-9 in favor of Brewster Academy. But if you're Orangeville, you're down by 7. Considering how things went yesterday against Montverede on this floor, you were down 24-2 at the end of the first quarter. This is a sign that they're going in the right direction.
Yes, this is 100% a sign. They're looking a lot more comfortable. They're able to get into their offense. Now they got to continue to build on that and make that next step of getting quality shots, right? Because Brewster, their pressure has shown why they are a team to reckon. Even when they're taking the ball out on the sideline, they can't even get the ball in because guys are chest to chest and full out deny, calling for ball screens to get help, getting trapped. So they're going to have to come up with some counters to that pressure just to alleviate that for the point guards and start to get some good shots.
Nike EYBL Scholastic is brought to you by Nike. This is winning basketball. And by Chipotle. Real ingredients, real flavor. Chipotle, for real. We will be seeing the Chipotle National Champions in Game 2 of our doubleheader. 33-0 Montverede Academy, a great host to this event. And Montverede against Long Island Lutheran, number 2 against number 3. Get your popcorn ready, Ben.
Oh, they are worth the price of admission. That is for sure. I mean, I've had the luxury of being able to hang around for the past few days and actually meet some people that come to the program and come to these games. And one thing that I've realized is that this event is a staple of the community. People love to come by because they know they're going to see the future stars of basketball, whether it be in college or the NBA.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's also a rare opportunity for fans to see this Montverede team at home because of the style and competition of play. A lot of these games are played all over the country.
Right. If you're from around here and you had Cooper Flag in your town but never had the opportunity to see him, you may not ever get the opportunity. So this is a chance for people to really get to see what they've been able to build over here and what the country marvels at, really.
Yeah, kudos to these schools getting these 4 elite programs together on the same floor on the same weekend and getting 4 great games out of it. And we have day 2 for you here on YouTube. This is the first game of our doubleheader. Brewster, top 15 team in the country, taking on Orangeville from Ontario, Canada, a 3-time national championship team, versus Brewster, who last year finished 27-7. They were ranked in the ESPN Top 25 all 20 weeks throughout the high school season.
Brewster has put out just incredible pros, incredible college players. I mean, when you talk about Donovan Mitchell, Devontae Graham, Will Barton, I mean, not only are these pros, these are playmakers at the pro level.
Yeah, Brewster, 24 alumni have played in the NBA. Since 2010, they have 14 NBA draft picks and 170 players that have gone to D1 schools since 2001.
It is, the resume speaks for itself. I mean, it's not Montverede, but it's Brewster, right? So they are really historic programs that have a national trademark of a name as far as high school basketball is concerned. And clearly that tradition continues.
Yeah, they'll play a full schedule of more than 30 games as Okori knocks down another 3. That is the 5th made 3 already for Brewster. But 30-plus games for Brewster on tap, invite-only events nationwide. And they'll play games in 11 different states during this season.
Yeah, it's almost like a college schedule.
Yep.
Like, that is something that you typically didn't get to do until you're at the high major college level.
Right.
Like, your mid-majors aren't even necessarily traveling that much. So it's great exposure. I really like this entire thing for these young guys, and I think it's really paying off.
Yeah, located just off of Lake Winnipesaukee in New Hampshire, as Sebastian Wilkins brings the boom and forces Larry Blunt of Orangeville to call a timeout down by 12.
We've talked about it ad nauseum, the turnovers, the live ball turnovers against Brewster with their athleticism is going to be tough. You see this drive, he gets caught in the gap, good steal, and then when they're out in space, there's not much you can do with all this firepower. Getting up, putting it on his neck. This is one that might make his Instagram reel later today, and rightfully so. Whenever you get the chance to get on that rim, I know the young guys love that.
8 points for Brewster so far. He had 8 points in the entirety of last night's game against Long Island Lutheran. 8 points and 9 boards. He already has 8 points in 7 minutes tonight.
The thing about a Brewster Academy is with so much talent, it's hard to have to dominate every single game, because with them and the talent that they have, they can exploit matchups. So today seems like he really likes his matchup and what it frees him up to do. And you see him picking up, trying to get steals. He's getting in the passing lanes, digging, getting out in transition. I think that's lended to him having a bigger game early on.
It's a 7-0 run for Brewster over the last 2.5 minutes. Let's see if Orangeville can drum something up out of that timeout. Beautiful feed and a nice finger roll finish from Isaiah Lacusa.
I'm a Princeton guy, so you know I love that play right there. People think the only way to attack pressure is through the dribble. The backdoor is a great option to alleviate pressure, but then they come right back. Okori comes right back with a nice knockdown.
Yeah, and that's what's so lethal about this Brewster team. Orangeville brews up this perfect play, and then Brewster takes it right back.
Yeah, like we said, their guards at Brewster are aggressive on both ends, so there's really no rest or really plays off that you can take if you're trying to get back in this for Orangeville.
Yeah, it's really a three-headed monster between Darian Moore, Ibuka, Okori, and Killian Torre. When we talked to Coach Smith earlier this week, he really said all three of the guards are interchangeable. They have good length and athleticism, can shoot it, they can do it all.
Yeah, I mean, you see it right now. Whenever one of them gets it, the other two just run and spot up. I mean, you've seen Okori hit a few knockdown shots. You've seen Darren Moore get to the basket, get some steals, get some shots there. You haven't seen too much of Killian as far as his shot ability, but you see across the board they pick up and pressure the ball. And that's what makes them such a tough group.
Moore heading to Seton Hall. Okori to Stanford. Torre will be an Iowa State Cyclone next year. Foul before the shot. And it seems to be going back to Orangeville. There is Darian Moore. They call him Payday. A 4-star recruit, top 30 point guard in the class of 2026. So just a junior. And in February, he chose Seton Hall over a handful of schools in the Northeast.
What I love about Brewster and the guys that they have, you can tell where they're going by how they play, right? You see Darren Moore, he's strong build, picking up, he's in the help side, he talks.
That's Shaheen Holloway basketball.
That is Seton Hall basketball at its core.
Sebastian Wilkins with the steal, the Euro step, and a foul going up for it by Lucas Jędrusiak. 35 for Orangeville.
The versatility of Brewster is pretty impressive, right? Like when you're talking about you have your power forward, Sebastian Wilkins leading the break, getting out and getting Euro steps and getting dunks, that is something that college teams want, right? Which is why he's one of the top guys in the country for his class, and should expect to, and we'll see him on TV in the near future. But this is literally why. He's a versatile big at 6'8" that can move. And that is something that is extremely rare no matter the level.
Totally, as we get a look at Sebastian Wilkins at the line. Just a junior, 4 stars, has not committed yet, but recently took an unofficial visit to Rutgers, also has offers from Boston College, Florida State, Iowa, Providence, Seton Hall, Alabama. This man could go wherever he wants to the next level.
And the thing that you love is you can tell just by watching him, right? Like you can see his physicality, you can see his skill. I mean, what was it, the first play, second play, he's knocking down a 3-point shot, and at 6'8", that is rare.
The only player on either side in double figures so far. Fade away, Jay. Nothing but net for the future Iowa State Cyclone, Killian Torre.
Defense is what he hangs his hat on, but you know he's not going to stay quiet on the offensive end for long. That was a great pull-up, getting to his spot and just knocking down an easy one.
Jędrusiak gets denied, and it goes off his leg. So that is turnover number 14 from Orangeville.
You see Killian on balance, hit a little leaner. It's a tough shot, but you could tell what we call that is bag work. He's been in the gym working on that clearly the entire summer. He knocked it down comfortably, and we'll see if that gets him going.
I mean, the turnover differential right now is eye-opening. 14 for Orangeville, just 3 for Brewster.
And this is why you gotta love Jason Smith. You see, he gets one of his better players, gets a good flow shot, and then he comes right back to the same play to let him try to make another play. Because the guys that he has, he knows they are capable of scoring in bunches. So if they could get him going, they know that'll just be even harder to stop them as the game moves on.
Here's Wilkins. Offensive rebound, could not finish. Torre, and it is going the other way. Orangeville caught a break there.
They definitely did, and I mean, again, I can't talk about it enough. Sebastian has really impressed me. His versatility, right? Like, typically when you see the bigs, they either can shoot it really well or really powerful, really athletic in the paint, and he's been a guy that's really comfortable at all levels. He's been shooting it, he catches it in the post, very calm, didn't knock it down, but I think that's a shot he will make.
Midway through this second quarter. 16-point game. And a nice move by Lucas Jędrusiak to get his defender to fake and to finish as well.
Another great possession for Orangeville. It's something they've had trouble moving the ball without turning it over. They finally had a good possession where they were able to reverse it from side to side, get in the paint and get fouled.
Brewster up by 14. We'll step aside here on YouTube.
Brisket is back at Chipotle. Seasoned, smoked, seared, spiced, sauced, bold, and guacced. It's a whole new kind of brisket done the Chipotle way.
You never get used to the pressure. You just learn to embrace it. Expectations aren't a burden. They're a privilege. Because it could be worse. No one could expect anything at all.
So how would you describe the chicken to someone who had never tasted it?
Literally melt in your mouth tender. We don't have a freezer, you know? It's almost like a farmer's market. When you walk into the restaurant, you should hear the sizzle that you're hearing right now. Just sends all those waves up to your mouth.
You're making me hungry.
Welcome back to Montverede Academy in the Orlando area. One of the biggest powerhouses in all of high school basketball, excuse me. That is the head coach of Orangeville Prep, Larry Blunt, in his second season with this current tenure. I mentioned current tenure because he was actually the head coach at Orangeville from 2013 to 16, recently returned in July of 2023. Brings more than 20 years of diverse coaching experience, and he's coached players such as Jamal Murray and has D1 coaching experience as well.
Yeah, no, for Orangeville, there is no better tournament than tournaments like this where they're getting to see some of the better players in the country and really get to compete, see where you stack up. They think they can see some ways, things they need to improve on, but you know, as a player, these are the opportunities that you are looking for.
Yeah, just some notable alums from Orangeville Prep in Ontario. We mentioned Jamal Murray, O'Shea Brissett, who's a recent NBA champion with the Celtics, a Syracuse player, Lou Dort, and many more.
They clearly are familiar with developing talent. You know, of course, it's year by year, but I think, you know, they're under the right leadership. They know success. They know how to build and develop talent. And I think they'll continue to get better and compete in this league.
Yeah, a frustrating 1-11 record in EYBL Scholastic last year, but Lucas Jędrusiak has been awesome tonight. He has 5 points, a couple of rebounds and assists as well.
Yeah, he's staying shot ready. I mean, they're not out of this. You know, it hasn't gone their way per se, but they are staying ready, staying aggressive, and you know, the three-point shot is the great equalizer. So if they can knock a few shots down, this thing could get tight.
As we see what Orangeville has done offensively recently.
Yeah, I didn't know he had that in his bag, but then you see come down, drive and kick, hands ready, knock down. Three-point shot is the way to get back into this game. If they can get a stop and continue to get quality looks, they'll get to chip away at this league. I mean, if they can cut this thing to 5, under 10 with this 2 minutes to go, I think they'll be in a good spot to come out in the second half and continue to chip away.
See if they can create some momentum heading into the locker room, as it is a travel. Ibuka Okori gives up the 5th turnover from Brewster Academy, and here we go. Orangeville gets the 3, they get the stop. Let's see if they can kick something up again on the offensive end.
Right. The number one thing that they need to do is, and where they've seen the success that they've had, is getting in the paint and then kicking it out. Reversing the ball, getting in the paint and kicking it out. Getting Brewster's defense to move, because we've seen.
Look at that. Isaiah Lakusa, the sophomore, makes it a single-digit game.
Right on time. This thing is starting to get tight. That's a big shot to really send this team in the right direction right before the half. This is a big minute and a half for Orangeville if they want to get in this.
It's an 8-0 run for the team from Canada with $1:40 to go in this first half. But once again, a silencer from downtown. This one, payday, Darian Moore.
And then a big turnover right back.
It's a 4-on-2. A missed layup, though. Another gift for Orangeville.
They have to take advantage of the break they just got.
Jędrzejczyk cashes in. This man's on fire. A team-high 8 points, and Jason Smith of Brewster wants a timeout.
You talk about getting comfortable. That's what it looks like. Right, that allows you to start knocking down shots in transition. You know, things start looking and feeling better. So they're right in this, down 9 points. See the drive, you see the kick. That's what they have to do. They have to get the ball downhill and then kick it out. You see it on all of their made threes. But then when you're just feeling it, you don't need that anymore. You can just step up and knock it down. So we'll see if he can close this half out strong.
It's worth mentioning, as Larry Blunt talks over his Orangeville Bears. Yesterday, in the entire game, the Bears scored just 32 points in 4 quarters. They've nearly matched that in 2 quarters. They're at 24 here in the second.
Right, and what I saw yesterday, it's not even the same team. I mean, I'm sure Coach said to throw that out of your memory bank because that wasn't the right team. That's not who they are. I think they got shocked by the moment playing such a big team in Montverede at home. They had the ring ceremony, and I think they just jumped on them really early. Now they're coming into this game and they're starting to settle in and really be smart about the plays that they're making, especially on the offensive end. I mean, we saw the turnovers early, but they've been able to reel that in. So I think if they can maintain this right here into the half, they'll be in a good spot.
They have made 6 of their last 7 from the floor. But every time they get some momentum, Brewster seems to fight back. Not this time, though. The second straight traveling violation by the Bobcats.
It's very uncharacteristic of this Brewster team, especially travels out top, not necessarily facing pressure. But Orangeville, you got to take it. Any stop that you can get, you got to take it and take advantage. So let's see if they can get a good one on this end.
1 minute to go in this first half. Can Brewster extinguish this Orangeville run? Fadeaway jumper from the free throw line, unsuccessful from Darius McGlashan. And now a 15-second differential between the shot and game clock. Brewster could go 2 for 1 if they wish, but they look to slow things down here in the final minute of the second. Atur Bolmin kicks out, a fake. Nice feed.
Good look.
And another travel. Wow, 3 straight travels by the Bobcats.
That was a great pass. I think he was anticipating the contact a little bit, so then he shuffled his feet. He just got to go up through that. Once he pump fakes, just go up.
Coach Smith will not like that. You can see on his face, hand to his head.
Yeah, these are the minutes where you're getting some guys that don't see significant minutes right now, but this is their audition to maybe expand their role. So when you come in, have a travel, back-to-back possessions, that's typically not what you want to see. I know as a player you're not happy with it, but a coach especially not.
10 seconds to go in this first half. Orangeville down by 9. 5 seconds left. It's McGlashan to the feed. Korda blocked from behind. And that is how this first half will end. A single-digit game, though, here, Ben.
Yeah, if Orangeville, I'm encouraged. Offensively, they got to tighten some things up. I think they need to get away from that ball screen action. That hasn't been as advantageous as they want. And Brewster, they're looking a little disappointed, but they look really in control of what's going on out there. So I think both teams will go in, you know, make some adjustments and give it another go in the second half.
All right, Brewster 33, Orangeville 24, halfway home here in Florida. It has been an action-packed first 16 minutes in game 1 of our doubleheader here at the Sunshine Classic. We'll step aside for halftime and have second half action for you. Don't go anywhere here on YouTube. Welcome back to the Sunshine Classic, halfway home between Brewster and Orangeville. It's Brewster with a 9-point lead right now, but considering how this first half has gone so far, I think Orangeville would sign up for a 9-point deficit.
Yeah, I mean, you see the turnover deficit right there. The 15 turnovers is really where they can clean things up because you're shooting at 5 for 9 from the three-point line. Like, they're really actually shooting it well when they're able to get attempts at the basket. So that's going to be the name of the game for them in the second half, is taking care of the basketball. And then Brewster on the other end, they have just been consistent. They are staying steady. The number one thing for them is that they're going to have to dominate the paint. I think they fell in love with the three-point shot a little early, even though they're shooting 7 for 14 from it. I think their advantage lies in the paint, and they're going to look to exploit that. But one thing is they're going to bring that energy on defense, and I think they're going to ratchet that up a little bit.
Yeah, a couple of Brewster Academy Bobcats in double figures. Ibuka Okori and Sebastian Wilkins, each with 10 points. There is Okori on your right. Meanwhile, for Orangeville, it's Lucas Jandruziak, the 6'4" sophomore, number 35, who leads the way with 8 points. Head coach Larry Blunt keeping his guys in this game.
Speaking of Lucas and why you love events like this, when you're talking about a guy like Lucas, right, coming into this game, not necessarily on the national stage, on the radar, still fighting for a spot, college offers, things like that. Having a performance like he had in the first half, if he can continue that on, that is the type of performance that gets you on the radar, that gets you offers when you're able to do it against a quality team like a Brewster Academy.
Right. And on this floor, it doesn't matter that you're not playing Montverede, but the fact that it's at Montverede, more eyeballs will be watching these types of games.
100%. And Orangeville being in this conference is for this, literally. High-level competition in great places like Montverede in the beautiful Sunshine State of Florida.
And Montverede against Long Island Lutheran, game 2 of our doubleheader at 7 o'clock on YouTube. Do not go anywhere for that one. Number 2 versus number 3 in the nation. Should be an absolute party here at Montverede, as right out of the gate, Preston Fowler, the James Madison commit, starts things off.
Yeah, he heard what I said, and he said, I hear you, but I can shoot it, and I'm going to knock this down. Great shot by him to start the second half for Brewster.
He's got a couple of threes, as that one's nearly deflected. Funny story, too. We mentioned he's a future James Madison Duke. Orangeville head coach Larry Blunt graduated from James Madison in 2005. How about that?
I'm sure it's a bittersweet moment watching his success out here, because you're like, man, I wish it wasn't against us, but boy, do we have a good one coming to James Madison next year.
He'll be able to root for him soon in purple and gold. Another 3 cashes in. It is Sebastian Wilkins picking up where he left off.
And you gotta love that. You have a guy like Killian, who is somebody you expect a lot from, especially on the offensive end, taking a pass where he was open and making the extra one for an even better shot. You gotta love the unselfishness that Brewster plays with.
Wilkins, the number 10 power forward in the class of 2026, a 4-star junior. Foul called on the offensive rebound. Putback opportunity from Killian Torre as we look at the offense in this third quarter so far.
As you can see, that wasn't just a high school 3. That is a college pro level 3. And then you see Sebastian on the swing with a good extra pass from Killian, knocking it down. I mean, Brewster is a complete unit that is really tough to beat. I mean, they have so many options at so many levels.
Yeah, we mentioned the 3-headed monster at the guard position with Moore, Okori, and Torre. But then you go down the roster to the forwards. Preston Fowler made a 3. Sebastian Wilkins is cashed in. And keep in mind, Dwayne Aristo, the big man from the Netherlands who's heading to Arizona next year, he's unable to play tonight, and they're still doing this.
When you're in high school, the one thing that you love is when your opportunity is called. Of course, you're a little sad that one of your better players isn't there, but it's your time to shine. And I think each and every guy on this Brewster team is taking advantage. I mean, they are so versatile and really play positionless basketball. You can see why they're able to continue to attract so much high-level talent across the country.
Yeah, Aristo out due to a foot injury. He picked Arizona over UCLA, Kentucky, Kansas, Connecticut, among others. So this team is so deep, and they are going to have superstars at the next level.
Exactly, and you're watching them now. You would never know that one of their better players isn't even present, which is something that you can't even say at most levels. So kudos to them. and just the talent that they have.
And they beat Long Island Lutheran yesterday as well without him.
Exactly. They have talent across the board. But right now, I know these guys are mainly focused in on locking in to beat Orangeville right now. I mean, they're settling for threes. I know they made one just like they did earlier in the game. They're still kind of settling. I think once they get these steals and continue to get to the basket, they'll extend this lead. Whereas Orangeville, they've finally forcing the issue, getting a foul called on Brewster. They haven't been able to do that much in the first half.
As we take a look at this play and finish from Darius McGlashan, who has offers from App State, George Mason, and Charleston. Charleston, one of the better mid-majors in all of college basketball.
Right, and I think this is an experience that he will lean on for the rest of his career, especially once he goes to college. Seeing high-level Division I athletes is something that you do not forget, and that's what you will use to prepare with as you move forward.
Jędrusiak, nice fake, better finish.
I really like this kid. Like, he's under control. He's really starting to impose his will on this team and not being fazed by the pressure of Brewster.
Yeah, just a sophomore from Mississauga, Ontario, nearby from the school. Previously attended Dream City Christian in the state of Arizona, but here he is back playing high school ball in his home country. Heat check, too strong.
I don't mind that shot from him. I mean, he's been the one bright light on the offensive end, so I'm actually all for him, you know, letting it go.
Wilkins' three is too much on it, and Jack McMahon comes down with the board. Here's a three-point shot. Cash in. E.J. Horton playing with 4 fouls.
That's what he's going to have to do. I mean, he picked up 4 early ones, but hopefully he'll take advantage on the offensive end. I mean, when you're playing with 4 fouls, you kind of got to take it a little easier on the defensive end. So hopefully he can focus purely on the offensive side. I mean, that was a good shot. Hopefully he can start getting the flow.
He's made a couple of threes today. This is a 7-0 run over the last 2 minutes from Orangeville. Let's see if they can continue to hammer things home. But once again, they go on these 7-8-0 runs 2 or 3 times so far today, and Brewster takes it right out.
I mean, the talent of their guard group is why it just kind of comes to an end at such an abrupt halt, right? They string together a few good plays, and then these guards get a steal. Make a huge block like that.
Darian Moore on the other side. A date with the rim for Sebastian Wilkins. What a sequence.
I mean, you have one of your point guards in Darren Moore coming over and blocking a dunk attempt to a fast break that's ran by Sebastian Wilkins, your 6'8" power forward that ends up with a dunk.
Wilkins has a team-high 15 points. This three-point attempt has too much on it for Horton. Offensive rebound, Korda, and he's fouled by O'Corey. Nice play by Sergio Korda to keep that play going. It was a 1-on-4 after that offensive rebound.
So you see the block by Darren Moore, and then you see Sebastian out, give it and give it back. That is textbook fast break, what you typically don't see from 6'8" power forwards.
You never get used to the pressure. You just learn to embrace it. Expectations aren't a burden, they're a privilege. Because it could be worse. No one could expect anything at all.
Sure, I was the first pick, the rookie to watch, and the back-to-back All-Star. But to get even better, I had to get real with myself. I got real about how I showed up. I got real about how I trained. I got real about what I ate. The results, something about this season, man, it just feels different.
Hype moments that fell flat for the football fan.
Welcome back to the Sunshine Slam. Sebastian Wilkins is your Chipotle player spotlight. He leads the way with 15 points so far tonight.
Yeah, he's been impressive. I mean, I've talked about him all day. I mean, I feel like I've just kept saying his name over and over. The number one thing with him is that not only is he 6'8", but like you just saw it in the last play, he can run the break, he can make an open shot, he could score in the post. He's 3 for 5 from the three-point line, 5 for 10 from the field, with 4 rebounds, 2 for 2 from the line. I mean, there's literally nothing that this kid has not done today. Even 2 steals. I mean, he's done it all. He's somebody that we will see on TV next year or the year after.
Yes, he is a junior.
I mean, he plays well beyond his years. I'm thinking he's going
The
now.
real question is, what do you think of that Chipotle order? Do you approve?
I do approve.
Yeah.
Everything from Chipotle, I approve of.
No doubt about it. Could be a big reason
Are you a bowl
why.
or a burrito guy?
I'm a bowl guy.
Yeah, me too.
The burrito is a little too much for me.
Yeah.
I have a sensitive stomach, to be honest.
I like to get the balance of every bite, so the bowl's the way to go.
Yeah. So that's number 11 on Brewster. Number 11 on Orangeville is at the free throw line right now. Sergio Corda with a gritty play before the timeout. It was a 1-on-4. He got the offensive rebound and was fouled on the putback attempt.
Yeah, he's been pretty active. You can tell he's fighting in there. You can tell the next step of his game is just really up in that physicality, building up that strength to be able to withstand some of the beating that he takes. But I think he's, learning on the fly and continuing to fight, which is what you love to see as a coach.
Yeah, 6'9" junior from Madrid, coming all the way from Spain. One of many international players on this Orangeville team. Hallie Michaels from Australia, a couple of Canadians, and another 3 goes down for Sebastian Wilkins.
I mean, right now, he's looking like a pro, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, with the skill set at his size, like, what can you do?
Nice feed. There's Corda. Couldn't finish the reverse.
And those are the plays where you get a little stronger, he'll be able to finish those.
Moore thought about the 3, and it'll stay with Brewster. And look at this, Sebastian Wilkins keeps draining him.
Hezzy Poole, like, at his size is not something you typically see, especially at the high school level. I think we see the finished product of a lot of guys and really see what they're able to do. But we don't get a good glimpse of these guys so early on in their career. So seeing how far along he is has been extremely impressive.
That 3-point attempt is short, but it will stay with Brewster once again. And that's what good teams do. They keep possessions alive.
Yeah, and it's literally what we talked about before when we said where guys are going, you can tell by their style of play. You see Darren Moore, that's one of the smaller guys on the court, crashing the glass by himself and getting an extra possession for his team. Those are the type of things that separate, your mid-majors, your high majors, Division Is and Division IIs. Little plays like that.
Preston Fowler picks up the garbage, hook shot, right back in. And it's a 50-burger for Brewster Academy with 2 minutes to go in the third.
This is a good possession for Orangeville, but they lost
you jinxed it. You jinxed it. Nice downhill movement and the feed from Pemberton to Wilkins, who now has 20.
Yeah, Orangeville has had some good possessions. They just gotta keep control of it throughout the entire possession.
Off-balance layup unsuccessful from McGlashan. And a lob. Oh! They looked for that Sports Center play there.
It's gonna start coming as much as they've been in transition and the steals and all of the open space they're getting off these transition plays. You should expect a few dunks. I mean, we've seen Sebastian throw a few down, but clearly Darren can go get it too.
Yep. Moore just a junior, heading to Seton Hall in a couple of years. Wilkins also a junior. Rare to see numerous juniors play a factor at a school like Brewster, right?
That is rare to see until you see them.
Yeah.
Right? Once you see them start playing, you're like, okay, it makes sense. But yes, it's more shocking to find out that they are young and not leaving for college next year, because they clearly have the talent to do so.
Jen Gruziak's been a bright spot. He's got 3 seconds to shoot, and he is fouled. That's a nice move there. Good basketball IQ.
I can almost guarantee that tomorrow he'll probably be getting some calls from some coaches, right? Like, this is the type of performance against the type of talent that you need to do it against to really show people that you're, you know, at that level, can handle it. And I think he has. Like, he's settled in, he's handling the pressure, he's getting to his spots and making good decisions and getting to the free throw line, which Orangeville has not done much of today.
Yeah, he's the only Bear in double figures. That made free throw makes it 11 points for the sophomore from Mississauga, Ontario, Canada.
Yeah, and he's just a sophomore, right? Like, he is a guy that you would look at and say, hey, this is something I can really, really build on. And I mean, he's showing high major flashes, right? Like the skill, the footwork, the shot making. I think as he, you know, goes through another season, continues to get some exposure, you'll see the growth. And when you check back in next year, you'll see a different player.
Alter Bolmin creates an opportunity at the free throw line.
Strong take by him. I mean, a guy that's a little bit skinnier like myself, but just because you're skinny in the basketball world, we care more about playing strong than being strong. And that's exactly what he did on that possession, what you love about when your big's coming off the bench and coming in and making an impact.
6'9", 180, a junior. Announced he'll attend Brewster in June. Has offers from Charleston, Providence, and UMass.
Length. Every team can use length and athleticism, which he definitely has that.
30 seconds to go in this third quarter. Turnover number 18 by Orangeville, but Brewster gives back their 9th on cue. Here's a three-point attempt, short from Ryder English. Now the shot clock is off.
The one thing you gotta love about high school basketball is that no matter the score, you're playing for your rank, your pride, your city. You know, those are the things that the joy of basketball. Tough shot by Pemberton there.
Yep, so that's the third quarter in the books. A 19-point advantage for the Brewster Academy Bobcats, who are 8 minutes away from a fully successful trip down to Florida after the win yesterday.
Which is what you want, because nothing worse than coming back when taking a loss that you didn't necessarily expect. So they've come out and handled business thus far. They need to continue the pace, the pressure, and attacking the basket the way that they have, and they will come out victorious. If you're talking about Orangeville, they're talking about getting better on the other end and preparing for the next weekend, right? Like, this is a long season. You're gonna have to see these guys again. You're gonna have to play more teams at the same level. So you're trying to find who's gonna step up to the challenge and keep fighting. And Lucas has been that guy so far.
Nike EYBL Scholastic is brought to you by Nike. This is winning basketball. And by Chipotle. Real ingredients, real flavor. Chipotle, for real. We are just about ready to go for this fourth quarter between Brewster and Orangeville Prep. There is Lucas Jędrusiak, who leads the way for the Bears with 11 points, a rebound, a couple of assists. So you mentioned that he might get some calls tomorrow. Is that all it takes, just to get somebody on the phone, one breakout performance to start the dialogue with D1 schools?
That is literally all it takes. If you play the right team and have the right game, and the lucky thing is when you're in this conference, the EYBL Scholastic, you have those opportunities more times than not. So yes, having a game like this is something that could be the start of something great for him personally.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple hundred people watching us on YouTube right now. You never know if that could be college coaches as the slam down comes down from Harmon and Hallie Michael.
And even if they're not watching, they'll ask for the tape.
Right.
So coaches are in practice. They can't necessarily watch everything in real time, but they will go back and check it out. If you put back a number that was something that is worth them taking a look.
There is Jędrusiak on cue with the rebound.
And the other side of that is there are coaches that are recruiting other players on this team that you're playing against that will see you.
Three-point shot goes down from Lacusa.
another person trying to put his name on the
Yeah,
map.
sophomore as well. This is a young team, Orangeville.
Right, exactly. So for them, what you love about it is that even though they're down, they're still fighting because they still have more to play for.
Nice move and finish. Ibuka Okori slithers through that Orangeville defense.
He saw that, he saw the switch, liked the matchup, and was able to take advantage. What a great play by him.
One of 2 Bobcats in double figures. He's got a dozen. Sebastian Wilkins has 20. Ten seconds to shoot here for Orangeville, and it will be turnover number 19 for the Bears.
Yeah, it's tough. They've been having trouble against the pressure. I mean, Brewster comes with, as you said, a 3-headed monster. They pretty much play with 3 point guards that love defense, which is pretty strange in high school. But they pick you up and they pressure you, and they just haven't really been able to handle it so far.
Yeah, when we talked to Coach Smith, you asked him, what are your keys to the game? Without hesitation, he said the guards must pressure the ball and speed things up, and I think they've done that tonight.
100%. I mean, the score tells it all. When they're able to do that, they typically come out victorious, and the turnover margin also says the same.
Yeah, 19 turnovers for Orangeville, just 9 for Brewster Academy. Here's Lucas Jendruziak. Kicks it back out. That's an NBA range 3. Ryder English. Oh my goodness, just a sophomore.
And the thing is, like we said, Jendruziak, that is a high major type play. You catch it at the high post, take a smaller high major Division I guard to the block and kick it out for a 3. That's what I mean when you can walk out of a game from one game and actually come out with some looks and scholarships and things like that after.
Sebastian Wilkins travels, but obviously this is high school. They're playing from the black line here. The college yellow line is there. This was way beyond that.
Yeah, I know they're playing the back line, but I'm sure when there's, most of the time when they're in the gym, they don't shoot at the black line.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's something that they practice a ton, and it looked just like it on that shot.
Yeah, Ryder English had 6 points in just 8 minutes last night in that tough 50-point loss to Montverede, who we'll see at the top of the hour against Long Island Lutheran. Number 2 versus number 3 in the nation, right here on League Ready YouTube.
I am looking forward to that one, partner. Ooh, it's a lot of talent on both sides, so we should see some exciting plays in that one.
The crowd continuing to trickle in as well. Behind us, the lower bowl almost fully filled.
Yeah, I had the luxury of talking to some fans at the games yesterday, and you know, you just kind of ask, like, hey, what brings you out? Like, what attracted you to this tournament? And the number one thing across every single person, some were Florida fans, some Syracuse fans, some Arizona, Marquette, Wisconsin. It's people that are just interested in seeing the future of college and NBA basketball, and they know there's no one place that can collect them like the Nike EYBL Scholastic League.
No doubt about it. So you see fans rocking all different types of gear. You mentioned Syracuse, Florida, of course, Kai and Anthony, part of Long Island Lutheran. We'll see CJ Ingram on Montverede. He's heading to Gainesville.
The Florida fans are hype about that one. Living in Florida, I know they are.
About the Gators right now, undefeated.
They are.
Top 10.
They've putting some wins together. It's good for them. So we'll see if they can keep it going. That SEC is no joke this year.
No. The additions of Texas and Oklahoma too for basketball and football.
Yeah, a lot of people talk about football, but that SEC basketball conference, I mean, Kentucky, you know, Texas A&M, Auburn, Florida, the list goes on. Like they're in contention with the Big 12 for the best teams in the country. And what they go 14-2 against the ACC
Challenge, yeah. The only winners were Clemson over Kentucky and Duke over Auburn. Shout out Cooper Flagg, who is, of course, a Montverede alum.
You see that he looked right at the sideline because he knew. Once I go for that steal, if I don't get it, my coach is going to lay into me. So he's a mature kid.
The score is,
He's a fun kid to watch.
There is Jason Smith again in year number 25. He has won more than 640 games manning the sidelines for Brewster Academy. 81% winning percentage. Sent this team to the National Final Four multiple times. Can't say enough good things about him.
I mean, you see it in the talent he's able to keep and recruit year after year. He is somebody that knows how to get it done at this level and set guys up for the next. I think that was one thing that stuck out with me when you talk to him, is how much emphasis he puts on getting guys to the next level, whether it be Division I to Division III. He helps guys, you know, basically just get their dreams, accomplish their dreams, and it's pretty honorable and why I think they've had the success they've had.
There is Okori with another three, his third tonight. He's got 15, one of 3 Brewster Bobcats in double figures. Under 4 to go. McGlashan's 3 is too strong. Ryder English, a nice feed, and a hook down low on Brewster. Lacusa was the one fouled for Orangeville Prep. Brewster Academy Bobcats 62. Orangeville Prep Bears 44. Just under 4 minutes to go in this game. We will have the finish for you on the other side, but it has been a Brewster Academy highlight party as they are closing in on 2-0 in their Florida trip.
You're really making all of this by hand.
Oh yeah, the avocados are hand mashed, the chips are hand tossed, and everything is made fresh.
You make it fresh every day.
Yes, every day. The Chipotle way is we make it fresh every day.
Sounds delicious.
You never get used to the pressure. You just learn to embrace it. Expectations aren't a burden, they're a privilege. Because it could be worse. No one could expect anything at all.
Brisket is back at Chipotle. Seasoned, smoked, seared, spiced, sauced, bold, and guacced. It's a whole new kind of brisket done the Chipotle way.
It's an 18-point lead for Brewster over Orangeville as they are about to wrap up their Sunshine Classic, and Sebastian Wilkins has been an absolute baller this weekend, Ben.
I mean, he's a do-it-all guy. Look at him. He's 6'8", shooting threes on the break. He getting steals, getting out in transition, then putting it on your head. Like, he's a guy that literally can do it all, and I'm excited to see where his career goes.
And he is tonight's Nike Player of the Game. 22 points for the Bobcats, who had that upset win over Long Island Lutheran last night. They're 3.5 away from taking out Orangeville, and they will go 2-0 in this Sunshine Classic. And remember, we have our monster matchup coming up at 7 Eastern. Number 2, Montverede Academy. Number 3, Long Island Lutheran. That is going to be an absolute treat.
All I can say is do not blink. When you talk about Long Island Lutheran, they get up and down and they get after you. And Montverede, I mean, they are the cream of the crop. So that is one everybody in the country is looking forward to.
And it's streamed for free on YouTube on the League Ready channel where you're watching this game right now. Wilkins with under 10 to shoot, kicks it out. Three-pointer in and out for Preston Fowler.
That was a great pass, though. I mean, a one-hand pass that you typically see from your point guards out of the post. That is an advanced level pass from the big Sebastian.
So next up for Brewster, they'll head back up to New Hampshire. On Monday, they'll host Lawrence High School in Massachusetts. And later this month, they also have 2 games at the site of the NBA Cup in Las Vegas next weekend against Arizona Compass and this Montverede team, the only team in this 4-team field who are not playing this weekend.
And if you think that wasn't on purpose, you're crazy. You got the 2 best teams, Brewster and Montverede, playing on an NBA floor. That is because there's the belief that there are some guys on both teams that will be playing on an NBA floor regularly in the not too far future. So that is really cool. I mean, that is something that most schools around the country don't get the opportunity to do. And that is why you go to a school like a Brewster Academy and a Montverede.
Totally, and there is tonight's Nike Player of the Game, Sebastian Wilkins. He'll be one of those guys. I mean, you figure there's going to be NBA teams there. You never know who's going to be in the stands for those games.
I mean, we talked about it for Lucas, but the same thing goes for all of these guys, right? Like, when you have you want those opportunities to play in front of your scouts, college coaches, ranking officials, media members. You want all of those. Just a chance to showcase what you can do.
Yeah, count the basket there. And one opportunity coming up with just more than 2 to go for Killian Torre. That is a really cool opportunity that they're putting together through the EYBL and the NBA, collabing there. I mean, the NBA Cup has done great things so far. Tuesdays and Fridays, you have those wacky courts that catch the eye of plenty of fans, and then you're going to have those teams playing for so much money. And then on top of that, these high schools will get those experiences as well.
100%. And I mean, we've heard all the things about the NBA media numbers being down. Maybe this might be something they throw in the fold to bring it back up, because that will be a highly anticipated matchup between Brewster and Montverede. I mean, I'm looking forward to it myself.
So that'll be next weekend out in Las Vegas. We mentioned this Brewster team will play games in 11 different states this high school basketball season.
It's all in preparation for the next level, whether it be college, pro, or overseas. They do everything with the attitude of getting you ready for the next level.
Harmon Hallie-Michael with a ferocious slam to end the 2-minute scoring drought for Orangeville. Another offensive rebound, but denied by Hallie-Michael.
Good play by him.
Walters.
Being able to block that shot without fouling, that's a great play by Hallie-Michael, you know, as he finishes this game out.
Here is Hallie-Michael. Can't finish the 3. And a timeout called by Jason Smith with just more than a minute to go here. In this type of situation, you're up by 19, a minute remaining. Time to empty the bench.
Yeah, this is the time to get some guys that are getting some looks and opportunity, as well as some younger guys who might need to fill a role for you later in the season.
Harmon Hallie-Michael, though, the big fella for Orangeville, he's been a bright spot in this second half.
Yeah, he's bringing energy and size, like an athleticism. You see him there catching it, finishing above the rim. He had a good block last possession, rolling, just being active and being strong with the ball, which has been a problem for Orangeville in the paint especially.
As we have another foul on the ground. With under a minute to go. More substitutions for Orangeville. McMahon and E.J. Horton will take a seat. That was actually E.J. Horton's 5th foul, so he did foul out. Picked up 4 in the first half, though. He stuck around for the majority of the game.
You know what they say, you have to use them at some point. Yeah. So he, you know, hey.
Unless you're Matt Eberflus, you don't have to use them.
That's true. I'm sure their coach would have wished he would have used them a little differently, but hey, he was fighting.
And there is Hallie-Michael with another board in this final minute. So it'll be an 0-2 trip for Orangeville, 2-0 for Brewster, as they both will leave the Florida Sunshine and head back to Canada and New Hampshire, respectively.
Yes, they will. I'm sure they will reflect on this and think about some things that they could do better. I'm sure they really enjoyed the trip, and this opportunity is something that is new to them, right? Like, it's new to most people with the league being relatively new, but this talent level is clearly something that they don't see all the time, so I think they'll be better off for it, you know, as the league continues to go on.
So a reach and foul here. When we talked to Coach Smith this week in our conference call, we asked him, what do your guys know about Orangeville? He said, to be completely honest with you, we have no idea who the heck we're playing. We're just excited to get to Florida and out of the sub-freezing temperatures. We appreciated the honesty when he said that.
I mean, when you have 25 seasons under your belt and 7 national championships, the other team at the beginning of the season especially is not your worry, because he's somebody that knows what his group needs to look like to compete at the highest level. And as you could tell, like, they're competing to the end and they're up, you know, close to 20.
Yep. So let's see if they get one more off here before the buzzer. Pemberton pumps the brakes, and there's your final. Brewster, a wire-to-wire convincing victory. They win by 19 over Orangeville to complete a 2-0 sweep in their Florida excursion.
Yeah, it's been a great weekend for Brewster. Tough one from Orangeville, but things to be learned on both sides.
So, some extra fireworks on both sides of the ball, but in the end, it's the Brewster Academy Bobcats who go 2-0 in this Sunshine Classic. For my broadcast partner, Ben Hazel, our producer, Brad Jones, and our entire crew, I'm Jake Marsh signing off. Do not go anywhere. 7 o'clock, Montverede, Long Island Lutheran, some of the best in the country. We'll see you then.